I had a religious experience this morning around 4 a.m. and I was sitting outside looking up at the sky, seeing the full moon, and thinking about how different people connected with God or some version of a deity throughout history and mythology and all of these stories. And I started thinking about there was a saint that could levitate, and he did so 70 something times in his life, and he's now the saint of pilots and astronauts, I believe. But thinking about him and his story and how people kind of just channeled how this idea of the Virgin Mary being a in between, something that takes something divine and brings it down to the mortal world. A true connection that not so much is just connecting with yourself, but allowing a connection to something higher into the world around you. And so I tried it because I just kind of like opened myself up, and there was something weird. There was a weird vibrating sensation. There's colors danced and blurred a little as I sat there and just sort of watched the world. It kind of felt like I was one with it. It's a hard sensation to describe, but it really felt like there was a connection there. And I don't know if this is what kind of experiences religious people have, because mostly as a person, I read about them. I've done a lot of theological research. I've spent many, many hours looking through, and the world around me kind of shifted a little. I don't really. It was like everything blurred a little, but I could control the blur. That there was something that was going through me that affected it. And I don't know what that was, or why it felt so odd. I don't know. If I somehow figure out how to put this into better words, just check down in the comments and I'll probably put it there. I'll make another video about it. I don't know. It's a tingling sensation. It's like the feeling of the boundary between the inside of yourself and the world around. Your skin itself just kind of gets blurred into the air. It's the feeling of let's say your arm falls asleep for a second, and there's a very brief tingling sensation that kind of feels nice and fuzzy for a moment before it feels kind of awful. But just take that nice fuzzy feeling and just extend it. Just take it over your entire self, and that's what it is. I don't know. Now, I do. I have had some past with occult stuff. Uh, I do some tarot card readings that, whenever I do them, I kind of feel for like a little bit of a vibration whenever I run my hand over cards, see if there's something that kind of draws me to it. There was one thing that I found that was actually a. I've done a lot of research trying to find stuff that is actually like ways that you can repeat that have some sort of effect on the world that is observable. But this one, it you had to do a little bit of Tibetan throat singing, which it's been like 2 years now. I don't know if I could do it again, but it was you repeated this one phrase, did some Tibetan throat singing, repeated the phrase some times, and after repeating it like 5 or 10 times or something, then it's referred to as either the tear of heaven or the tear of Mary was supposed to come down. Now, what I felt was like a vibrational kind of thing that ran down my cheek, and it felt like it was a tear, but like bringing the hand up to it and touching it, there was nothing there, and it continued to just run down. Oh, I also lived in a place when I was little that if I didn't ever live there, I think that I would just straight up be an atheist, because I would have never, like, ventured out there to figure out what was going on. But it was the kind of place that the doors would randomly jam, and if you asked nicely, then they would unjam. If, like, furniture would move in the middle of the night, that kind of standard haunting stuff that you see in the movies. There was one time in particular that like always stood out to me. That's I came home from school one day and my bed was just shaking. That was unreasonably terrifying for little me because, oh no, the bed's shaking. What else is going to happen? I already knew that we had a ghost. I asked the ghost nicely to let me in the door a few times. And I don't know, that one just kind of stuck with me. And it kind of made me to venture out there, and like my religious studies have went back to high school, which back then I was kind of like looking more into the Wiccan stuff. More recently I've been looking into Christian and offshoots of Christianity, some more Greek stuff because Greek is always fun, Aztec, and I've got kind of interested in the Cathar story. Not too much in their ideals. Their ideals are kind of interesting. Like I like the idea of combining reincarnation into Christianity, so that way whenever people die, they don't go off to some sort of fiery hell, which was definitely just some dude's invention. If you look at the books and how they change throughout history, it's a more peaceful way. It's something that, like, let's say you run the washing machine and you're trying to clean an excessively dirty dish, and well, you open up the dishwasher and, oh, it didn't quite get it, so let's just run it through another time and see if that works. Oh, there's still a bit of milk, let's just run it through one more time and see if that helps out.